Candace Ferguson of Milton Hershey in lane 7, and Rachel Herger of Freedom Area in lane 8.
Geis and Agupon repeated from last year, 6th and 8th.
Here we go. Good jump there by Williams. My goodness, what a head of steam out of lane 4. Williams is going to win it running away. Lauren Williams, a sizzling 100. The unofficial time, 11:50. State record by a mile.
Wow. I don't know how else to say anything about that. Wow. Out of the blocks, as you mentioned, just got out of the blocks, and it was over in 10 meters.
Oh, that is incredible.
10 meters, so you can see her run everybody down.
Let's see. They're on the blocks. 4 by 100 meters for the state championship. Here we go. 100 meters and then a quick handoff on turn 2. And the stagger really does not do justice to who could be leading. Here's the first exchange. We'll watch the flags and see if it's clean. There are 2 zone officials. All the exchanges now have been completed, and the white flag is up. It is a clean exchange. Palmyra in lane 8 in the lead, and now making up the stagger. In lane 4 comes Milton Hershey. Second exchange now. Again, it looks clean. Watching for the flags. White flag is up. Clean exchange. Milton Hershey in lane 4. Here's the final pass-off. Rochester has the state's fastest woman in lane 5. Will it be enough? No. Busted exchange. Milton Hershey in lane 4 down the front stretch.
Oh, here she comes.
Eye on the time. Now here comes Rochester running her down.
Oh! Just what you wanted to see.
She was at least 15 meters behind when she got it.
Just what... funny I called that, but you know, that's what you wanted to see. You want to see her run them down at the end. What a race. Wow.
The crowd is on its feet. Do you believe it? That is an unbelievable effort. Rochester, with the state's fastest young lady, making up at least a 15-meter difference here in the final 5.
Well, this is just in the last 10 yards. You see her get the win right at the tape over, I believe it was Milton Hershey, but it was what she did from the handoff to that point in time. It was remarkable. And you say she's definitely the fastest in the state, but I got to think one of the fastest in the nation with the way she's been running.
Look at this form by Lauren Williams in the white and blue. Milton Hershey sees their once large lead evaporate.
What a race. What a race. And she knows it too. And that's what makes this race fun. First of all, great handoffs everywhere around, and that's what got everybody in position to be there. And then she runs down a lead like that. You were saying it's
2 sizzling 4x1s here. Not a surprise. These usually are the best races of the meet. But after that come from behind win by Rochester, I don't think you'll see anything quite like that the rest of the day.
That's just one that'll replay. And you know what? In 5 years, they'll still be talking about that race up here.
I bet.
You remember that time? By that time, it'll be a 200-yard difference or something, but still a great race.
And it's been on television, so it's been recorded for posterity,
that's
I guess,
right.
as we take a look at the AA field for the boys. Lakeland in lane 1, Freedom Area in lane 2. Hanover in lane 3, followed by Clarion in 4, Bethlehem Catholic in 5, Greenville in lane 6, and Wyomissing in lane 7, Washington in lane 8. You see the runner there from Freedom. Their seed time, 43:49. Again, less than a second separating the top seed time from the 8th best seed time in this field.
And not surprising with AAA boys, it's always seems to be that way. And this is a great race too. There's always has been traditionally just a great race here. But you know, you talked about being on television. Everybody in this place is going to rush home to watch that race over again when PCN rebroadcasts it on Sunday night, or tonight I guess, and then again on Monday. So just if nothing else, so we're going to tune in for that race for sure. They want to see it again.
No doubt about it, and we have lots more state championship action coming up throughout the rest of this spring. The baseball and softball state championships coming up, along with volleyball, and plenty more to come as the next scholastic year begins. PCN will be bringing you more state championship coverage. We've been excited and very pleased to be here at Shippensburg for this track and field championship, and it is so much fun when you have the great racing like we've had today to bring you this massive event live to you across the state on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. So the batons are in the hands of the lead runners and will be set for action in a moment. State record time, by the way, sorry, Gary, or Greg, is 42:25, set 5 years ago. And the national record is 39:76.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Harrisburg with the state record here in this one. You know, we mentioned that Diggs, the 100-meter champ. This is not the AAA, but jumped ahead one. This is the boys' double-A, isn't it?
Indeed. We are off here in the AA finals. And making up the stagger already in lane 6, Greenville with a good start. Here's the first exchange, and it looks clean. The white flags are up. Into the second stretch now in the back stretch. Good run coming up here by Clarion in lane 4. Into the next exchange zone they go. The batons are passed off. The white flags are up again. Clean exchanges into the final exchange zone now. Very close race. Clarion in front, and now here comes Clarion in lane 4. Clarion flanked by Bethlehem Catholic, but in lane 4 it is Clarion, and Clarion will win it with a winning time of 41:88. State record if it becomes official.
That was a picture-perfect 4x100 relay for Clarion. Everything went together. They had just great handoffs. And once they came out of the staggers, it was clear who was going to win that one. But the handoffs were down, and you're going to win some races when you have that speed in those handoffs.
If that time is official, that is a state record. The previous state record was 42:25. There's usually a slight margin of error, but if that time goes official, it is a state record. Here's the stretch run.
They're just in control. He got the baton with the lead, did not let up the lead, came down the middle, and he had his lead after they gave it to him. No one's going to catch him. That was again, and usually with the boys, and we've seen it in the girls, but with the boys, they're so close in competition that big lead's not going to evaporate.
Incredible. Not unexpected, but incredible. The parity and the great racing we have seen here in the 4x1, really the great racing we have seen all. So we take a look now at the field for the boys 4x400 meter relay. This is the AA competition. Wilson in lane 1, George Junior Republic in lane 2, then Washington in lane 3, Clarion in lane 4, Hanover in lane 5, Milton Hershey in lane 6, Wyomissing in lane 7, Lewisburg in lane 8. Low seed time 3:23.65 by Clarion. Remember, Clarion won the 4x1 relay, and they're looking for a double relay win today.
Clarion area was second last year, 3:27.22 behind Girard College at 3:25.66. Milton Hershey and the other team, they finished 7th. They're in the finals again this year.
This is George Junior Republic's first runner. They are in lane 2, and then behind him in lane 1 is Wilson area. You see the pole vault competition going on in the background, by the way. We'll be showing you highlights from pole vault and other field action from earlier today as soon as we're done here on the track.
A lot of times you'll hear an uproar from the crowd. They're watching the pole vault. They're at 15.9 right now.
That's big.
That's climbing up there. And so you'll hear the crowd react at what will seem like an inappropriate time perhaps in the meet.
We're underway in the mile relay for the boys AA category. And Lewisburg holding that outside lane has the lead, but quickly making up the stagger now. Look at Milton Hershey in lane 6. What a big run this is. This is for Milton Hershey. They quickly made up the stagger, and Milton Hershey is going to have a wide lead heading into the next 200.
So no surprise, Milton Hershey has had talented track and field. They have their girls and boys program that dominated District 3 AA for a long time.
Oh, this is just a huge opening leg for Milton Hershey. You got to wonder who's left in reserve for them. And Milton Hershey will have the lead. Now here comes Lewisburg. Lewisburg overtakes Milton Hershey along with Wyomissing, and also there is Hanover. So that was a very interesting first segment where Milton Hershey stormed out to that early lead and then fell back a bit.
Well, he just, he ran too hard too fast and then couldn't hold on, and but still got him out there pretty good.
Now it is Hanover in lane 5 wearing the blue and white and charging up now on the inside, Wilson area and George Junior Republic. Now they can break the stagger. They're beyond that margin where they can do that, and they'll make the turn. We'll be halfway through the race next time by, and you see the field. Milton Hershey is there. Clarion is there and beginning to make up some distance. But Hanover, having a strong opening to this race, will lead at the halfway point, or will they? Milton Hershey and Clarion storming in. I got to stop calling the race that early because Milton Hershey and Clarion made up a lot of ground.
They sure did. You know, what you have to remember is the 400 is still, they call it a dash, but it's a long way around there, and you cannot expend everything in that first 100 or 200. You got to have something left for that final 200.
Oh, Clarion now starting to take command here on the backstretch of the third leg. Clarion, keep in mind, already has a relay gold medal today that came back in the 4x1. Milton Hershey chasing Hanover area also there. Then it drops back to Wyomissing. Into the final 100 of this segment, Clarion and Milton Hershey. Now it's Milton Hershey and Hanover. Hanover strong down the stretch here in the final 100. Clarion begins to lag back. There is one runner to go and one lap to go, and Clarion got a nice little advantage out of that.
Is that Hanover area now with the lead?
Indeed.
What a great leg from number 3.
Will it be enough, though, to hold off the rest of the field? Hanover, with that scintillating third leg, trying to hold on to it now. Clarion has dropped back to 4th. Milton Hershey is up there as well. Lewisburg now in 5th, but this one could be all Hanover.
Well,
or could it? Wyomissing now coming in.
Here they come. They're coming back to him. You talked about how hard it is to run out in front with no one with you. It is very hard at this stage. You don't know who's coming and when they're coming.
Well, Wyomissing had a quiet race to this point. It is Hanover in front. Does Wyomissing have enough to close the margin?
That's a little too much.
Take a look at the time. 3:13, the time right now. You see it in the corner of your picture. And it will be Hanover taking it and getting a relay gold medal, winning time unofficially 3:21.76. That's a drop of about 3 seconds. 4 laps. And I would think the AAA team title for the boys is still a little bit of a question mark. I think maybe the other 3 have been pretty well settled by this point. But you look at Norristown, a team that's had a good day. Some other teams, Cumberland Valley has had a great day, and they're in this. So maybe, we don't know for sure because we don't have the official tally, but it could be not only a battle for a gold medal here, but perhaps the state team title on the line as well.
10 points is huge. I mean, 10 points, when 50 wins it, 10 points is huge. So I believe you're right. But also the other part of that is any place may be a valuable place for these teams. Even getting the, to come up with 6 points or 4 points might be what they need.
So there you look at the combatants. They will each run a lap. Lower Marion on the left side, and then there's the Greensburg-Salem runner in the middle of your screen. They're on the blocks. This is the final track event of the meet and the final event of the 2001 state championship. Here we go.
Clean start, and that means only one false start. That came in a preliminary. That's pretty amazing, too.
That's really incredible and good to see, too, because you hate to see it get to the point where someone has to go home early because of one minor miscue. Making up the stagger is Cumberland Valley there in the middle of your screen. Back in lane 4, Glen Mills also got a good start there in lane 5. On the outside, Altoona on the left side of your screen has the lead. Strathaven there as well in lane 7, but Glen Mills is having a very good opening leg as they break the stagger now. Altoona on the outside has a very good first 400 as well, and it will be Altoona in the lead into the first transition with Strathaven and Glen Mills not far behind.
Well, I was looking over the last team champions. Last year, Glen Mills won it with 53. They hold the state record AAA with 86 points to win it. But one year, 36 points. Penwood won it at 98 with just 36 points. AA boys last year, 52 by Clarion. And the year before, 2 years before that, it was 27 points to win it. So there you go. You don't need a lot of points to win a state championship here in track and field.
Now they break the stagger, and Glen Mills, the team you mentioned a moment ago, is in front. Altoona has stayed in there nicely. They got that tough draw in the outside lane, but the two teams that had the outside lane, Altoona and Strathaven, have done a good job staying with Glen Mills here, and Norristown is in striking distance in 4th.